We have a liftoff. We have a liftoff.
What's up, everybody? What is up? I am so grateful to be back on these internet streets. Listen, if you have not done so already, we want you to share and jump in with us. It is going down, and we are ready to have a conversation tonight. I got some soldiers with me, and we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful conversation. All right. If you want to jump in with us, go over to our Facebook page, go over to Duane Williams Jr. Facebook page or YouTube page, jump in, and you are able to watch this conversation right there tonight. I got some good brothers with me, like some really solid, good brothers with me. And tonight I'm ready for us to have a authentic conversation. Welcome to Authentically You Broadcast. It's a live broadcast, and I love doing live broadcasts. I know some people like doing pre-recorded and then, just putting it out and then put little chops out here and then letting people come and watch it later. But I love doing live broadcasts. It gives you a chance in the most realist form to go and watch. So I want you to do me a favor. If you have not already done so, I want you to share to your Facebook. I want you to share over on YouTube. Go ahead, copy the link, send it to somebody. Tell them that we are live. We are live. Okay. We are live and we are ready to go. Let's bring up our guests tonight. I'm excited about all three gentlemen that will be with us tonight. The first gentleman I'm going to bring up, he is a community activist. He is a father. He is a husband, as well as a co-author to an amazing book. He hails from Philadelphia. All right, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It is my brother. Would y'all help me welcome to the stage at this time, my good brother? What's up, Q? I think you might be on mute. No, we cannot hear you. Some technical difficulties early on. You want to get it together and we come back to you. All right, my man. The next gentleman I'm going to bring to the stage hails from, let's say, South New Jersey. He is also a husband. He is a father. He is a author, a motivational speaker. Just an awesome dude to know. Would y'all help me welcome to the stage at this time my good brother, the great Nate Evans Jr. What's up, bro?
Hey, bro, what's going on?
Man, this is good, man. I'm excited about tonight's conversation.
Oh yeah, likewise, man. Likewise, I'm grateful to be invited. You know what I mean? To be in this
Nah, for
conversation
sure.
amongst some powerful men, man. So I'm grateful.
How you feeling today?
I feel good, man. I'll be honest though, a little tired, bro. I'm preparing for my first ever like major event, and I didn't realize how many pieces goes into putting together like a big 2-day summit style event. So
Yeah,
it's been
yeah.
nonstop, bro, nonstop. But
Congratulations to that, man.
oh man, thank you,
Congratulations to
thank
that.
you.
You've been grinding a long time, trying to make these things happen, and you've been doing it. I got to bring my other guy into the room. I believe he hails also from Philadelphia, and he is a motivational speaker, a husband. Mike, are you a father? Hold on, you can't answer. Just shake your head. Yes, you backstage. Yes, a father. I mean, not yet. A father of many, right? He is a great dude, also an author himself, which I help me welcome to the stage, my good brother. What up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's good to see. It's good to see y'all. It's definitely good to see Nate as well. Nate, I ain't seen you in the month of Sundays, but it's all good though.
Hey
Happy to
man, all y'all legends doing great things, and so it's hard to get to y'all. It's hard to get to y'all. I want to be like y'all when I grow up. You know what I mean?
listen. You doing your thing too. So
Man, listen, all of y'all doing your thing. Let's see if my brother Q got his mic right. Let's do it. Q, what up, baby? You got that mic right?
Am I good? Can you hear me?
Whoa, look at that.
sure.
Look at that. What up, man? How you feeling tonight?
I'm all right, man. I'm blessed and honored to share this stage with you guys. It's been a long day, but I've been excited about this. So just ready to tap in and get this thing rolling.
I love it. So, once again, I'm going to encourage each and every one of you that may be watching tonight. I want you to jump in right now as we speak, and I want you to share with a few people. Tell them that we are live and we are about to have this awesome conversation. I got some wonderful bros in the room today, and I'm looking forward to it. Before we begin, I want you to shout out where you are tuning in from. We see another good brother watching, my man Kevin. Shout out to you, good brother, all the way from Philly. And he is also a youth pastor, an amazing
Yeah, building.
dude.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Amazing dude. And so I love it. I love it. I love it. Man, let's do this really quickly. Give us some small introductions of who you are, where you come from, that kind of stuff, so we can get an understanding of who you are, and then we can get into why we came here tonight. My wife just joined. That's funny saying that.
Hey,
Hey, congratulations,
Oh man, come on, man. You already said it. Nate said it. Q said it. Thank y'all, man.
man.
come on, wife in the building.
All right, let's go. Who wants to start first? Tell us who you are.
I jump in. What's going on, everybody? Mike Nelson, West Philadelphia, born and raised. Playgrounds where I spent most of my days. Yeah, that's the end of the Fresh Prince. But no, I really did grow up in West Philly, and playgrounds where I did spend a lot of my days. So, hope everybody is well. So, about me, I'm an author, speaker, minister, pastor, and I just like to be in the field, wherever stage that God blessed me with, whether it's at a church, whether it's in the secular space, wherever I am, just to be able to serve. And so God has blessed me to do a lot of cool things, which I'm not going to get into right now because I got some other dynamic brothers that I love to be able to hear from. But I'm definitely excited about, jumping into tonight. So thanks for having me.
Nah, for sure, for sure. What's up, Nate? Come on, tell us who you
Yeah,
are,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Yeah, I'll jump in. Man, first and foremost, just a servant of Christ, father, husband, a black man healing, bro. You know what I mean?
Can we all? I wish I had a buzzer.
Oh, the dun, 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 dun. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, bro.
yeah.
For sure, man. Tapping back into that after having a child has been different.
Wow,
But yeah, business owner, author, speaker, blessed to travel the country and actually the nation now. I'll be speaking in
yeah,
Mexico this year preaching, which God is good about that. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
man.
I
Amongst
love
all
it.
things, man, someone looking to serve people and utilize my gifts and potential, to the full.
I love it. Q, what's up, man? Talk to us.
Yo, I'm Q. Just like Nate said, I'm a servant. I love serving. I believe in the power of serving. I'm a husband, father as well to a beautiful 6-month-old baby girl.
For sure.
Here I've been. I am a mentor. I wear many hats, um, but more than anything, I just love God. I love where He's brought me from. I love where He has me, and I'm excited to where He's going to take me.
I love this.
Humble, and I'm a lover of people.
Mm.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Listen, I love this already. Let's start somewhere tonight because we've all mentioned the word, or at least you all mentioned the word, and I'm co-signing to y'all word tonight, the word servant. Y'all talk to me. How um and
I know
Shanice's best friend.
it is.
That's our big sister. Talk to me. That word servant, what does it mean to you guys?
Mm.
Because so many people color that word from a different lens, a different perspective, and some people think that serving is limited to or limited up to a point. And
Mm.
the language that I'm hearing from you guys, and you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong, you guys are talking about servitude as a lifestyle. Like this is how you live. Talk to me, jump in as you see fit. What does that look like? How do you define that word servant?
Mm.
Yeah,
That's good.
I think you hit it right. I think you hit it right on point. I think serving, and for all of us, it sounds like, serving is a lifestyle. And so, as I always say, for me, I always say, my life is my work and my work is my life. Like there's no separation. Like as far as serving, like I'm not serving out of just because, oh, I want to be seen on certain platforms, or you want to be, doing it because you want to be successful. Like it really is from a genuine place. And so I think that I wish and I hope that, I know we in this entrepreneur social media space, and when a lot of
Mhm.
people be serving, they just be like, I'm a serve, but I'm gonna only do it to the extent of where I can be able to get something on the back end, versus like other brothers like here and myself is really about, man, I'm going to serve even if there's no return on this investment, because it's the right thing to do. Like my
Wow.
Mm.
or my heart is in the right place, and I'm going to serve you even though I know that I can't get nothing from you. Like my job, and I believe that my goal is to be able to serve as many people as possible. So that's what I think about when I think of the word like serving, and it being like a lifestyle, versus we just do some actions here and there and be like, oh, we just came together to do this. And then like, man, I tell people this all the time, y'all. I say, yeah, there's some stuff I post on social, but I said there's a lot of stuff that never ever makes it to social that I do like that's serving, because it doesn't just need to be, everybody doesn't need to know. And so I wish that we would get to a point from where we're only doing stuff for clicks and likes and calling it serving.
Facts.
Wow.
Facts.
Wow. Who jumping in?
Yeah, I'll jump in real quick, man. Just to kind of segue on that, you know what I mean? It's like when I think of serving, it's really a heart posture. You know what I mean? And it's interesting because in the space that I'm in, that Mike's in, as communicators, you'll often hear people like, man, I'm just serving on the stage. And it's like, fam, you off the stage a lot more than you on the stage. I don't care how much you speak.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's like, are you serving outside of that? Like you said, there's a lot of things that won't ever, be recorded or shown. But it's like when you have that heart posture, it becomes your lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's almost like the air you breathe. It's like y'all wake up and I serve. Right. And then also, not even I wake up and serve, but I serve with pure intentions, right? Not with ulterior motives, or I'm trying to get something or manipulate this. It's like,
Mm,
yo, can you serve with the capacity that you have. And then also realizing like, yo, you are called to serve certain people.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I don't want to step into where you're supposed to be serving, and then I go in there and I'm trying to take over and play savior. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be so lowly, so humbled, like, man, I'm serving the world. And it's like, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I ain't serving the world.
Wow.
You know what I mean? God gave me a certain group of people. I don't know who they are in full totality, but I know I'm supposed to be serving them. And he's going to give me the capacity and anointing to do so. You know what I mean? So just learning who you're serving, how you're serving them, and making sure most importantly that your heart is pure. That's what matters the most.
But before I go to Q, if he want to answer, if he doesn't, listen, I want to just kind of have this organic conversation. If you're joining us tonight and it's your first time watching, welcome to the Authentically You Podcast. I'm your host, the creator, the visionary of it, and these are my friends, and we jumping in the conversation. It feels good to be back on this end of the mic. During the pandemic, I had another podcast name, and we were doing the conversation centered around life, love, and legacy. And I'm excited because already for the month of May and June, I've booked every Thursday out so far already with guests that are coming to share their stories and share their lives. And so if you're a hater and you don't want to share it, I understand it. But you know, if you're not, it's a good thing to share because it's gonna be some amazing people coming and they're gonna be sharing their stories and sharing their journey. And so I already see a lot of wives coming on, shouting out their husbands. So I love it already today. Q, do you want to jump in on that, or you want me to maneuver?
No, I'll be quick.
Take your time, man.
So when I think of the word servant, first I think about being humble. Next, you have to love.
Wow.
And you have to look at serving as a form of preparation.
Wow.
Because you don't know who you will be presented to. So at the same time, if you're looking to be a leader, you have to first know how to serve.
Yeah.
Also, knowing your lane when it comes to serving, like Nate said. And then you have to look at serving as a form of worship. A lot of people don't look at it that way because servants are looked at as the bottom of the barrel. But to God, serving is everything.
Yeah.
So I could serve in a form of worship, and that's why I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to know this. I want to know, we're talking about serving and we're talking about, building, because many of us have built certain things from the ground up. I know my brother Q is building out a mentorship program for boys, and we are praying great success in that. Nate, another builder. Mike, another builder. I purposely invited these guys for a reason because we all have similar styles in how we approach the Bible, how we approach the secular world, how we approach our gifts and talents. And it's nice to have other people on the other end that understand what it feels like to maneuver in those spaces and not overly saturated with certain parameters that arise. And so I want to know this: what are some challenges that you deal with in building yourself as a man while building your goals as a man? Did you see Q? Your whole eyes, he went under. He said, Lord D,
like, where do I
start? Me tonight? Where do I start? I don't care where y'all start.
Yeah, that's a loaded question, bro.
Yeah, I don't care where y'all start. I want y'all to start where y'all feel comfortable in speaking and talking about. Yeah. I want to pull on the depths of who you guys are tonight, because I'm going to take some clips from here and post this stuff, because I think people need to know that there are regular people who love God, building and really facing some challenges. It is not just the hoopla of the spookiness of the gospel, but it is like, we really dealing with some challenges. Nate, you mentioned it earlier, and we are trying to grow past those challenges while still fulfilling that destiny and purpose that sits over top of our heads. Like, we say no to it some days and then get up like, what you thinking about? Come on, let's go. Time to get back to it. Talk to me about
no every day. I say no every because it's a lot. there's a lot going on. I'll speak on Gideon's Academy and just starting that. And I feel like that's my purpose, the youth, teaching, and all of that good stuff. But what really bothers me and where struggles come in at, where there shouldn't be struggles, is when it comes to the parents. The first thing I'm asked when I post about Gideon's Academy or education or mentorship, they ask me how much. And my response is free, right? You say free, everybody loves free when it comes to materialistic things. But when it comes to necessities, they shy away from it. And when it comes to this mentorship program for young Black men in the city of Philadelphia that need it, free is like $1 million.
Wow.
What I mean by that is parents will pay hundreds of dollars for their kids to play AAU basketball and Pop Warner football. But when you have a free mentorship program in your city where your kids are learning and being groomed, nobody shows up. I don't get it. They rather buy them sneakers. And somebody posted even like, yo, parents go crazy for prom if they put the same effort into prom and graduation that they put into their general education, the outcomes would be so different.
Yo, what I'm hearing you say is like, yo, if they would put money the same way they put money into materialistic things, if they would put it into their child's development, how far would they really go? Can y'all concur to that?
Yeah, man. They would spend more, money as far as what's on their kids versus, spend with the stuff that you can put in them, the stuff, that you can never be, taken away. I think that Q, that you was right on point. I think for me, man, it is a. I'm gonna be honest. It's a daily struggle between, okay, I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing my purpose, but also, as I always say, look, I got enough ambition probably for all of us on here combined. I got a whole bunch of ambition. So there's this strange dichotomy between I'm ambitious, but also I'm fulfilling my purpose. So even me sometimes, and I know probably, Nate, that you can attest to this, sometimes I got to pull back and say, yo, this would be a dope opportunity, but this not the right opportunity, though, because if I take this opportunity, it may lead me somewhere that is not aligned with my purpose. Yeah, listen, it'd be dope. I'm about getting to the bag. Don't get it twisted, but you like, but do I want to get the bag that way?
Wow.
The honor, and is it going to glorify God? So it's always this struggle between, okay, being ambitious, but still following my purpose and being able to merge the two. So I think for me, I've grown into a space, again, not perfect, but I'm growing into a space where I'm like, Mike, it's okay for you to be able to be ambitious, but know when you have to be able to reel it back and say, all right, Mike, you going a little bit too hard. And then, as I always say, is I don't want to be so ambitious that I forget the fact that I'm married. Like I'm going out here and I just be like, I'm so ambitious that, like this and wife is at home, like, yeah, you ambitious, but at home, you ain't doing the dishes, you ain't washing no clothes. Like it's great that you got all this in. But when you in the crib though, you just be like,
Hey, you know why I got laugh? I'm looking at Nate's face. I'm looking at Q's face. They all like, yeah, man.
My wife will tell me, and be like, yo, you ain't like, let's reel it in because I see all the stuff that you're doing that's great, but what about us? And so I think for me, that is a daily struggle.
Ooh. Say that one more time. What she say to you? Man.
Yeah. She said, it's great that you're doing all this stuff, but what about us? You promised me that we were going to, live a certain life. And now, granted, here's the thing as men, is that your wife agreed to marry you, right? She loves you, but that ambition part is on you. My wife was like, I ain't trying to be up on stage speaking and doing X, Y, and Z. That's for you. Like, they ain't got nothing to do with me. Figure a way how to be able to merge the two. And so it is a daily battle to be able to try to go between the actual two. Like, okay, I got to wear all these hats, as Q said. I got to wear all these hats, but also in wearing all these hats, I want to make sure that I am effective and not being overly ambitious where I don't end up burning myself out, if that makes sense.
Wow.
That's a bar, bro. That's a bar. I'm gonna jump in there real quick too.
Go ahead, because I got another follow-up question to what y'all said. No, I'm not rushing you. I'm thinking about it. I got some stuff.
I'm thinking about like you said, the dichotomy. There's so much going on because you want to be ambitious, and then at the same time, you still need to be present, right? And then you also, or for me personally, I have the factor of like, yo, how was you raised? What was the example of men around you? For me, it was kind of lackluster. You know what I mean? It wasn't necessarily the model behavior. So as you grow older, I become more aware. You know what I mean? I'm doing my thing. I'm out here inspiring, motivating. I have to ask myself at times, like, yo, what's the pace you moving at?
Wow.
You know, and why are you moving at this pace? Whose example are you really following? And I had to check myself kind of like mid last year. I was just on go, like try and get it. You got a kid, you feel like, yo, we about to, as soon as you have a kid, bro, I don't know if y'all felt this before, but for me personally, it's like, yo, you got to get all the money now or y'all going to be homeless next week. And it's like, that's not a fact.
Hey, can you take your finger and go this way to the guy in the glasses? This guy right here, that's how
right
you
there.
feel. Right there. That's I mean,
okay, there we go.
But you know, I love what you're saying, Nate, and just to chime in really quickly, I love what you're saying because this is where we are as men. All of us are in our 30s. Nate, you're how
34.
old? 34, 36. Mike,
35.
35, right there. Q,
I'm 30.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're like 32.
34.
34. There you go. So, like, you know, 30, 34, 35. Where you at again, Nate?
I'm 34.
34, 35, 36. So, like, man, we right there. And, like, all of us are in still a level of our prime hit it, you know, to wherever we hit it to. Hopefully, you know, still more prime. But
I'm prime. Forget
right,
what you say, Nate? What you say, Mike?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mike?
I'm trying to have a LeBron James prime. I'm trying to extend this thing
20 years.
Well, I can't no more.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nate. Go ahead.
But real quick, even speaking on that, like I know he's joking like the LeBron James prime, but it's like, yo, think about it for us as men in the era that we live in, social media, we ambitious, all of these things is like there's always, yo, you need to do more, you need to achieve more, you need to be more. And like I was saying, I got checked and it was like, yo, whose example are you following? Is this the example like Jesus? Or is this the example of Gary V? Like what we doing? You know what I mean? Is this hustle till you burn out? And it wasn't, I know for me, I had a real life like episode of burnout where I ended up in the emergency room.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, I thought I was having a heart attack. I'm like, yo, what's happening? You know what I mean? And then when they came to the conclusion, they tested me, all of this stuff for COVID, for the flu. And it was like, yo, you just exhausted. Like you need to rest for a few days and get hydrated and just relax. Like don't do nothing.
Lean into that for a minute. What was exhausting you?
For me, it was one, the ambition, like going super hard, but it was the pressures, the self-imposed pressures that I put on myself to be a husband, to be a father, to be all of those things, to be a business owner, to be, and it was like, yo, I was going out and doing. And it's like, yo, the example was move at a pace of grace and be intentional. So I was super busy. You know what I mean? I'm always, I got to go. I'm moving. I'm doing this. I'm trying to set the business up. I'm trying to get it. And I feel like I was out of alignment with God. And it got to a point where I was just running on fumes, bro, trying to build, trying to grow. You know the personal development space. When you sleep, somebody grinding. You got to be working. We even use the language of grind, bro. You got to keep grinding. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. And it's like, something ain't right.
But
Something ain't right.
I chime in because you said we work so hard where it's like it's never enough. But when do we as men step up and say enough is enough? Because you think about it. You retire when you're 65. You're supposed to retire at 65, right? I have family members who retired at 65 and died at 67.
Facts.
Who's in a vegetable state at 70 years old. So as men and black men, we need to know when enough is enough. And I'm speaking for myself because I overdo it and I try not to. I try to be balanced. I try to stay on schedule. But like you said, it's never enough. But sooner or later, it has to be enough because people need us. Our kids need us. Wife need us. You know, so when is enough enough? When do we say like,
enough is enough? Yo, I got to lean in there because nothing personally happened to me for why I walked away from the mic, even to the point where like sitting down virtual services for my church, right? I'm 2 years in, and I know people was probably looking at me weird, like, how can you sit this down when you called to it? Now, let me be very clear. Was I called to it? Yes. Am I called to it? Yes. But what was I trying to achieve became the question to my mind.
Mm.
And what many people don't understand is there's nothing wrong with reset
Mm-hmm.
when reset is for your furtherance.
Facts.
What happens to a lot of people is we get consumed by the grace gift, the passion gift, the the ambition, that we don't even know how to take a moment to just say, if it takes me 3 months, 6 months, a year, 24 months, I got to reset for a second. And I got to reset because I need very strict clarity on where I'm headed, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. My motives for being a pastor, motivational speaker, leader, any of that stuff was never driven by the attention that I can get from it.
Right.
Hear me. And people would argue this, but it's not something that I wanted to do with ambition. It was something that I needed to do because the call was there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so when I hear you guys talk, I hear such like levels of like, yo, I recognize that I needed a pause. I recognize that I'm putting too much pressure on myself. Here's a question I want to ask you. How vulnerable were you to either your wives or someone of a mentor of that sort that could help you navigate those waters as you were trying to like really overcome it?
Mm.
I think for me, I have just recently, maybe this year. I know sometimes I try to hide it, but every now and again I'll just cry. We in the bed and I'll just sit there crying. I'm just like, man, it just seemed like it's too much. Whether it's the external, but more so for me, I don't know about you guys, but it's more so the external pressures that you put on yourself. I got to be doing this. I got to do this. I got to make this. I got to make this happen. And you're trying to be everything to everybody. And so just having those honest conversations with one, God saying, God, I don't like, yo, you're going to have to fix this because it seemed like I'm just doing a lot, and having that conversation with my wife and being vulnerable and letting her see me cry. I remember the first time I allowed her to see me cry, and this was a couple years ago. I was getting off a plane.
Wow.
I was reading a book by what's my man name? Is it Jason Wilson? I can't believe he got a book.
Jason Wilson. Are you talking about the Cry Like a Man book?
Cry Like a Man book.
Yeah.
And for those
you gotta get that cue.
Yeah, you gotta read it.
It's fine. I got it right over here.
For those who don't know, me and my dad, we had an estranged relationship for years. And so
Yeah.
reading the plane on the book. Don't ask me why I decided to read the plane on the book. I'm reading on the book. Man, I got in the car and I couldn't hold it. I just had the tears flowing. I said, yo, I can be able to identify with that because this is what I needed from my father that I felt like I never got. And from that moment, it has been easier in spaces to be vulnerable and have a moment where you know that you cry. Shoot, if I got to go out here and be Superman, I got to put on my cape and I got to go out there and I got to wear the face and I got to be everything to everybody. If you can't be vulnerable with the person that you committed your life to, I'm like, then who else are you going to be vulnerable with? I'm not going to be vulnerable with the people that you lead, but you also are leading. You can't be they falling apart and you falling apart as well. I'm like, that's not really a good mix. But the trusted people that you have, allow them to be able to uphold you as you do for so many people.
Wow.
That's fact.
Anybody else want to chime in right there?
Yeah, I'll jump in as well. For me, it's very similar. It didn't happen reading a book, but it kind of happened out of overwhelm. Like, you ever get so overwhelmed, like you can't control like what's happening with your body. It's like, yo, something's about to happen. I'm about to fall out. Tears is about to come. And I remember having that moment. This is probably a couple of years ago. Very similar time frame where I remember sitting in the backyard just overwhelmed with emotions, bro. Trying to figure things out. You know what I mean? Just trying to just get going. And my wife came out and she kind of checked on me. And I just told her, I was like, look, it's a lot going on. I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. I feel like I'm on a treadmill. And she was like, do this. She actually challenged me. She was like, do this.
Wow.
She was like, how about you take some time to write down everything that's happened over the last year? You know what I mean? Everything you've been a part of, you may have achieved. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And I did that. And it was like this long paper of just stuff. And I was like, wow, I was so busy in motion that I never took time to celebrate myself.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I missed everything that happened because it was like, all right, that's done. Next thing. All right, that's done. Next thing. You got to continue to achieve. And that was just a performer in me. You know what I mean? Growing up, not really receiving love in the way that you want. So you try to perform for it.
Yep.
Everything's for validation. So it's like, that's how I was. It was go, go, go. And she challenged me to do that. And I sat down and I just looked over and was like, man, you know, I'm proud of you. To say that to myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was a huge step in the right direction in regards to vulnerability. And I've been able to be more vulnerable with her since then because I was able to see that she could handle it. Because the fear was like, yeah, I'm gonna cry. She gonna think this. I ain't gonna be able to like, what we gonna do?
What we gonna do? Once they see me cry, what's up?
What's
Where we
up?
going
But it's
from
like
here?
that's actually a great indicator to see, like, yo, we're really partners in this, and you're willing to help pick me up. And you're able to see me through all of the aesthetic. You know what I mean? You're able to still see my strength through the tears, and support that, man. So yeah, I got a real one, but she challenged me, man, and that was huge for me because
Wow.
what I realized this is too, and this is I'm gonna say this just for black men. I'm gonna say for men in general, but yo, we deserve to die old, bro.
Come on, man.
We deserve to die old. Like we deserve to live our lives out, bro, and really pursue the things that God has put on us to pursue and really fulfill those promises. But we wear and tear on ourselves so much, bro, just going, going, going. You look at older couples, who's usually the one that's kind of banged up? It's mostly the man.
Not banged up, tore up. I'm talking
Tore up.
tore.
I'm talking about done up. And it's like,
beat
yo,
down.
for what
Beat
reason?
down.
For
Yeah.
what reason? But you were taught that you got to go, go, go.
Yeah, I think some of it is the world's pressure of where we are now, where if people don't live social media lives, then you know you're not the right person. And I'm really starting to learn a lot about teamwork. It really makes the dream work. And we'll come back and do a part 2 and talk about some more of this. But you know, I see a lot of things via social media, and when you see those things, you just like
On social.
what you say, bro.
It's a lot of bad information on social.
No, it is, man. It is, man. It is. And you know, I glance at some of it. I listen to it. I have my opinion about it. I don't come back to try to demonize it on my own social media because, you know, people are going to believe what they want to believe and people are going to buy what they want to buy. You know, we see that. But I think some of the realities that we face is that people have a hard time with really understanding where they fit in the puzzle of life. And sometimes you can't make this life up. You have to just go with it. You have to go with it and you have to then produce while in it. And so that's what I hear when I hear you guys talk. Q, did you want to double down on the question of vulnerability or?
Yeah, because I learned vulnerability a different way. For those who know me, I lost my mom at the age of 20, and it was like instant. Like she was 37 years old. She had issues with her heart that she didn't know about and instantly died. And at the time, you know, my mom had a great relationship. She was like my best friend. And, you know, everything happened so fast that I didn't have time to grieve because I was responsible for everything. 4 younger siblings, life. And I didn't cry for 8 years.
Wow.
Literally, I didn't cry. I couldn't cry. Like I just was stone hearted and I used people, I abused people, I abused myself. And a lot of this was unknown because I lost the most important person in my life, and I didn't understand it, and that brought upon trust issues. It brought upon insecurities and things like that until I got tired of being tired. I was in a bad situation, and there was only one thing that can help me, and it was Christ. And once I came to Christ, I got the counseling that I needed. I finally broke down because I was told it wasn't my fault. That my held that so long because I was like, I should have been there. I could have been there. I should have did this. I could have did that. And now for me, vulnerability is not a problem. I love to cry because I was without it for so long. I mean, during those 8 years, I wanted to cry. I couldn't cry. I didn't have it in me until something broke. And even now, like being vulnerable, I'm vulnerable with my friends, and it's all about being honest. I'm vulnerable with my wife. Like if something hurt me, like I'll cry. I'll express myself. If I don't like something, I'll express myself. So I'm extremely vulnerable, but it took so much for me to get there that I don't have a problem with it now. I wish I could cry every day. Dude, man, I'm telling you, that release is like nothing. Like, oh my God, it's amazing.
But with clarity, though, the reason why is because you understand the release. You're not just about to be like, yo, I didn't get no Fruit Loops, and I'm about to.
You can cry tears of joy.
You didn't come support. You didn't come support my service. I'm about to.
No,
you
not like that.
Yeah, not like that. You crying because it's a legit. Yeah, I got you.
Emotions move to tears daily, if possible.
Yeah. No, I love this. Man, I really love this conversation because this is the way that I thought the conversation was going to go. This podcast is going to be about life and love and legacy, and we'll throw some other things in there as time goes on. This won't be the podcast that just gets on and talk badly about women. That's not what we create. And I got a bunch of women coming to share their stories. I'm excited about next week's Mother's Day edition. We got 3 mothers coming, and I'm going to dig into them. I'm going to ask them some hard questions about mothering and how that looks and all of that wonderful stuff. But I believe like these conversations are needed to hear from real people on the ground doing real things, making real impact, and not just doing it from a one-dimensional segue, but doing it from a multi-dimensional place. And when I look at all 3 of you guys, that's what I see, a multi-dimensional man that is, of course, loving Christ. That's a big thing for me. That's always going to be a big thing on this podcast. It doesn't mean that we're perfect because we love him. It just means that we love him, and we're grinding towards, moving towards, pressing towards, whatever word you want to throw in there. We're doing that in our relationship with Christ, and so in that, it creates for the appetites for everything else. I want to talk to y'all about this last thing. How have you overcome failure? What do you feel like you failed in, and how have you overcome failure? What are some tools that what?
He go for it.
Learn how to overcome failing by
Talk to me.
You will fail in almost everything you do, but you got to look at the lesson inside the failure.
Mm-hmm.
I back in my day, I drove nice cars. I love Mustangs and drop tops and stuff like that. But in order for me to know how to get the Mustang, right, I had to go to the car dealership for the first time and say, hey, I want this car. And they had to tell me no so that I could learn and go through the process of getting everything I needed to get that car. Again, just like crying and being vulnerable, I don't mind failing because I look at it as a lesson. That's hard at the time. But if you master failing, you will also master winning. And that's all I got for y'all. I love
Bing, bing, bong. That's a weird sound. That's a weird sound. I don't know why I did that. That was a random sound. I don't know why I did that. But Like, yo, but like you hear what he's saying? Like, that's yeah. All right, go ahead. Y'all jump in. Go
Wait,
Oh, you want me to jump? Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, so I second that, man. It's failing is it's inevitable. You know what I mean? The person who doesn't fail is the person who doesn't progress, is what I feel like. For me, failure has been the quickest way to learn, in my opinion, because you have to actually try to do a thing. You know what I mean? Let's very practical example. I got my summit coming up. I've never done nothing like this before in my life. You know what I mean? I've never done something where I had to sell tickets and get vendors and do this. But it's like, fam, how you gonna learn if you don't try? So it's like, is it a failure or is it a lesson? You know what I mean? And for me, I'm down to fail quickly so I can learn and grow and then actually get better and gain mastery. But you don't know until you start to try and you progress, man. So failure is it has its sting, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily comfortable, but I've matured enough in my walk to understand it's necessary.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I'm not failing, I got to ask myself, like, yo, are you like really super just complacent where you are right now with what's going on? Or do you feel like God has a little bit more? Because you still got breath in your lungs today. So we going to keep going, or we cool because we got a victory like back there? You know what I mean? So for me, it's a sign of progression. The person who's failing, and it's interesting because on the outside looking in, you can be judged, you know, as a failure, but it usually comes from people who ain't doing nothing. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Weird, man.
You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where it's like, I would say your opinion was valid, but it's not, because I'm actually trying the thing while you thinking about the thing. You know what I mean? So
God,
yeah, man, it is
head.
what it is, man. You got to embrace it if you plan to succeed and really pursue and really
Say
grow.
that part though again, though, man. It usually
What?
comes from where? It
It usually come from
where?
people who not doing nothing. That's the fact. And we live in the internet age where it's a lot of those people that got them thug thumbs and they going crazy.
Twitter.
They going crazy and they judging your product and they judging your service or they judging your message and you this, that, and the third, and then you go look at their stuff and it's like, oh, it's nothing here.
I think the kicker for me is people who judge what you do and they don't even have the portfolio to support anything that they have done. You know, people hate Deion Sanders. I love him.
That's my guy.
I love Coach Prime.
I got some Colorado gear in the closet.
I'm about to get me some. And I'm gonna tell you why I love him, because you can hate his confidence and deem it as arrogance, or you can love his confidence and deem that he knows who he is. I think that we live in an era that masks humility with quietness. And humility is not quietness. Sometimes quietness is your inability to accept what is around you and or even to address what is in you or around you. And one of the things that I realize is I could take a loud person any day because I can see them coming. Quiet people I can't trust, because I don't know if they want to cut me today or be my friend tomorrow. And I think one of the things that I so adore about this current season that I am is I'm embracing who you are, right? Once you show me who you are, it's like once, and I'm not saying that you can't have a level of grace there. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But once you repeatedly show me who and what you are, like you aren't for me, that's okay. I'm good.
I gotta
I'm gonna
trust you to be you.
I'm trusting you to be you. I'm gonna put you right here, and I'm gonna go over here and mind my business. Not gonna say nothing crazy. I'm gonna go. And I think when I listen to you guys talk about failure and embracing it and developing it and changing from it and maneuvering with it, you know, you've got to take that. That's got to be a level of vulnerability that comes from within. The only way that you can accept something is if you come to grips with it. And so when I listen to you powerful, strong-minded, absolutely brilliant men talk, I hear that I'm okay with embracing whatever season that I'm in, because it doesn't mean that I'm going to live here forever. It means that I'm going to learn and then grow from this season. Mike, you wanted to chime in on that last question? I saw your lips like, come on.
I think failure it's almost like it's like dying. It's like nobody wants to do it, but you know it's a part of life. Like it's just like nobody wants to actually fail, but there's a quote that says, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. So if you think about that, like you're going to have to fail. Like as Q said, you go to dealership and you find out, oh, here's the process now that I have to be able to go through, and it may not happen day one, it may not happen day two, it may not happen in the first month, but at some point in time, if I continue, I should be progressing and getting better. But then as Nate said, it's like, when people, as Nate knows, there's a quote that kind of goes around and says, never take constructive criticism from people who never constructed anything. Like, why are you sitting up here? You critiquing the stuff that I'm doing. You notice that it's always.
Oh man, I'm trying to still get myself up off the ground. I'm just one more time though. Can you
take constructive criticism from people who aren't constructing anything? So it be people that's in the bleachers. I'm talking about the nosebleeds. Hey, nephew, why you ain't doing it this way? You like, first of all, I'm playing in the game. You're not even on the front row. You in the nosebleed screaming what I should be doing. And so, failure is one of those things where you cannot be afraid to be judged because of your failures. Like, I think the people who are most significant and successful, like, they're not afraid to be the first person to say, I'm going to go ahead and try this. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I don't care if I look stupid, but at least I got my foot in the game. It's like nobody wants to start at phase one. Everybody want to get to the $1 million. Everybody wants to have X, Y, and Z. Everybody want to have a great relationship, jump straight into marriage, but nobody's trying to start at phase one. And it's in phase one that you learn how to get to phase two. Is it master phase two? You learn how to master phase three until you get all the way to the phase that you're supposed to be at. But it's like, I don't know what they're going to think. And I'll be like, first of all, that must matter over what they think we should be doing. So I think failure, like, I don't like it. I'm sure all of us on here like, I don't really like failure. But now you embracing it, say, I know that it means that I'm actually trying to get better. Because you can get to a point, as you said, Nate, you just become stagnant and you comfortable. You're like, I'm good on this. And before that you know it, when you start being stagnant, that's the point that you actually start going backwards and you start dying. You be like, and you start getting, man, the speech down the same. I'm doing the same exact stuff. That means you ain't trying. So I like if my wife, I try something new, she'd be like, that was whack.
Now you know.
Now I know. That's who they is. Now I know. Go with you.
Also, I was talking to a friend a couple months ago, and the season that I'm in now, because I'm a very confident person, but my prayer to God is that He delivers me from people's opinions with everything that I do, because there's always there's always somebody. But if God can put in me the confidence and the Holy Ghost boldness needed, not just in the spiritual, but even in the natural, I'll be unstoppable. But I have to be delivered from people's opinions, from people's faces, from the whispers and all of that. And that's the season that I'm in, so that they don't affect me.
Wow.
Throw me in that prayer, bro. For real. Like, that's real though. I'm not move, bro. I'm human. I'm a man. It's like I feel it. I might not acknowledge it, but it's like there is that wanting to be like, I want y'all to like appreciate this. And bro, you talking about vulnerability, I 100% with that right there. That's major, man. That's a major thing. And last thing I'll share is I can handle the failure. I cannot handle not trying. It's something about not trying that stressed me out, bro. It makes me, I think about like my uncles and them, and I love my family, but they pull up, they pull up to the cookouts and all that, and I could have did this and I could have did that. I'm like, damn, I can't imagine being that dude. Like, my grandkids, Lord willing, is like, I could have did this. Your grandpa could have been. It's like, nah, I need to give y'all stories of like y'all did this. God allowed me to be here.
And I
I
failed,
can't, yeah, fam.
but I did. Yo, when I say you guys are hitting on so many great things that we could extend this topic about. We definitely gonna come back and squeeze in a part two. But man, when I tell you, like, tonight is the conversation that men who are growing are having, right?
Mm,
I love the conversation around that. I remember I was at a summit, and one of the pastors who did like the morning devotion for us gave us a great word, and then kind of started prophesying to us, and he came to me and he said, hey, uh, God wants this to be a season for you where you're not reliant on your ability, but more so reliant on Him. Because let's be honest, as men, when you are gifted, talented, anointed, any word you want to use to describe the abilities that God has given you, both spiritually and naturally, it is very easy for you to rely on yourself, right? It becomes difficult to rely on God when it comes to your gifting. Now, hear me. I've lost jobs and relied on God. Like, I walked away like, oh no, I'm gonna get another one because like you know what I'm saying? Like, I relied on them, right? But
mhm.
when you but in this in the ability category, it was hard because you like, look, I can see myself being here. I can see myself being here. I can see myself being here. So the first thing you want to do is like, yo, let me put the guns to blaze and make it happen. And guys like us, women like us, they can, right? But the reality or the question becomes like, yo, how much is this centered around what God really wants you to do in this moment? And I
Right.
think one of the hardest parts for people to accept is the pause of God, right? When God tells you to pause, when He tells you to hold up, when He tells you, hold on, sit there for a minute, right? Watch this. When He tells you not to respond, because while people think they have receipts on you, you got receipts on them, right? And it could be a receipt show, right? But when God tells you to pause, don't respond, hold off, fall back, don't say nothing. Yeah, you can slice them, but chill right here. And I think that becomes the most talented thing of it all, is when you can like really rely on God through any storm, situation, or problem that you're in. And when I hear you guys talk about that, I hear triumph. How you guys have triumphed over so many situations. It's almost our time. I know we could unpack so much more. Here's the last question that I want to deal with. We mentioned day, right? And I want to surface back to that just a little bit. How do we overcome day? How do we really, they could be parents who believe in you but can't see your vision. They could be spouses who believe in you but don't see your vision. They can be people who don't see your vision, don't know your heart, just absolutely think you crazy for starting it. They could be close people who know what you can do but don't even support what you do. How do we handle they? Yes, sir.
They they don't matter.
Is that simple for you?
It's nothing but an opinion.
Yeah, I love it.
9 times out of 10 is an opinion. Most people don't come with facts.
Mm,
If you have a prayer life, and you know the voice of God, you feel me? They are going to be there. They are probably there for a reason,
mm,
but they shouldn't matter. Go
mm.
forth, because only two things are happening. It's going to work or it's not. And
Yeah.
that's when we get into embracing the failure. Okay, I tried, right? And I failed. Then you might have they, well, I told you, well, okay, you were right. Cool. But that's not going to stop me from trying again. But if you know that you know that you know, and this is what you want to do, you feel like this is it, confirmation from God and all of that, they don't matter. That's how I look at it.
That's good. Mike, what you got?
Yeah, I think also sometimes what gets lost in translation is we don't necessarily need to demonize they. What do I mean? Is that they are actually some of the they could be, as you said, family members, friends. Like they really care about you. Like when I lost my last gig 7 years ago, God rest her soul, my grandma just passed away April 4th, and she was like, "Baby, you gonna be okay?" Like I'm just a little confused. I know you said you gonna do this speaking thing, but how much does that pay? Are you gonna be okay? Are you sure about this? Are you sure about that? Grandma, I'm talking about till a couple of years ago. She still was checking in like, "You okay, Mike? Are you sure everything is working out? Maybe you should do this." But if you listen to, sometimes the outside voices and the outside opinions, sometimes it can overshadow or cloud your judgment when you in your prayer closet saying, "God, I know for a fact that I heard you. I know for a fact that you told me not to do or to do X, Y, and Z." And so I think that there is a fair balance. You do have people in your life, like in the multitude of counsel, there is safety, there is wisdom, there's guidance. So I think that, it is important to be able to have people in your corner who could be able to support you. But at the end of the day, I'm so happy, y'all. Like, can you imagine I'm sure when Joshua had to lead millions of people after Moses died, I'm sure there was some people that was like, "Joshua, man, I'm sure there was some people who thought that they should be leading." But thanks be to God that God gave Joshua the clarity. "No, Joshua, you're actually next to be able to lead." And what if Joshua get caught up in the opinions of what other people may think? And so I think that is so important, as Q said, all of us, including myself, right? Because I think all of us, especially when you're doing stuff in the public, let's be real. You want to be liked, you want to be respected, and you want people to like you. But you can't be that impactful if everybody likes you. And so I think what we need to do is,
hold on, man. Don't run over that. Don't run over that. You cannot be impactful if what?
You can't be that impactful if everybody likes you. If everybody agrees, everybody best things to slice bread, like it's just not possible. And so I think that prayer that you prayed that said, "Look, I need that too. Lord, please." As much as I don't want to be able to buy into the opinions of people, but Lord, allow me to get delivered from the opinions of people because it's not serving me, it's not helping me. And when God did your calling, it was not a conference call. He wasn't like, "Yo, I'm inviting everybody to give you the conference call of what you should be doing." He talked to you. And so we have to be brave enough. We have to be brave enough to be able to do in the light what God told us in the dark.
Come on. That's a bar.
Did you hear the bar? He said God didn't have a conference call when he called you.
Facts. It wasn't a Zoom call. He ain't invite everybody on.
I felt that I did feel a little Pentecostal coming out of me there. I wanted to run, but I said, "No, this is a podcast. Let me be cool. Let me get out." What? Did you hear that? God didn't have a conference call. It wasn't. Hey, let me see what they was thinking about you. Come on, man. Come on, Nate. I know you're about to say something because we gotta get out of here off these internet streets. I don't want to hold people too long. Let's go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll be quick, man. When I think about it, it is the wise counsel is super important. And then at the same time, opinions don't really matter. My thought process is, what weighs more? Is it the assignment and the instruction of God so you can be obedient, or is it the opinions of others?
Come on.
Wow.
And they can't be leveled out. You know what I mean? This one needs to be God's instruction needs to be higher. I had a good friend of mine, man. We was on this Black Men Healing call, and he gave me this quick scenario, and I'll be real quick. He said, "Just imagine this, man. You live this long, beautiful life. You know, it's your time. You transition, and you get to meet God, or whatever the case may be." He said, "God asked you, why didn't you do what I sent you down there to do?"
Jesus Christ.
And he was like, "What's your excuse?" I was too busy. People said I couldn't do this. I ain't had the money. And it's like, I've equipped you with everything you need for where you are and where I'm trying to take you. Everything you need, you have it today. And as you go forward, I'll give you more. And it was like, "Yo, what's your excuse?" And it was like, there is no excuse good enough. So when I started to think like that, I'm like, oh, forget those opinions. I love y'all to life. But I can't hold on to that because there's no way. Not saying that this scenario would happen, but God forbid it did. You know what I mean? And it's like, I can't come up with an excuse.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Wow. Yo, I love this conversation. We definitely gotta do a part 2. You know, I'm over here thinking while y'all talking in the most respectful way. Man, so I know like some years ago I hit Nate and Mike up, was like, man, we need to do like an empowerment tour. Or say it again.
Yeah, we've been supposed to do something. I'm glad we finally decided to get on the podcast.
Facts.
Then we're supposed to do something years ago.
But listen, I sat here just now and like I'm not gonna say it was the voice of God. Maybe it was just the unction.
Yeah.
Because you know I'm not that deep in in all of that. But I feel like I found the 3 guys to do this with. I think it's a need for it. There's a lot of stuff up my sleeve from now until the end of this year. And it's just because focus has been the redirection to my life over the last couple months. Sometimes you can get focused by so much other stuff that you just need a moment. See, I think when people think that you take a pause, they think that you quit. A pause doesn't mean quit. A pause means a restructuring, a regalvanizing, a re-understanding, a re-seeking. And I'm cool with pauses because I think that pauses help you to really understand where and what and how you need to be. I'm concerned with people who keep going through the emotions and keep going through the same rigmarole and it's producing or yielding nothing. That's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about people who go through the same motions. And come on, you guys played sports before. I remember playing sports and my coach was like, yo, Williams, come here, man. And I was like, what's up? He was like, I can't say what he said. He was a good guy, but
we know.
Yeah, he said some few choice words like, blankly blank, you ain't doing it. And I was like, I am doing it. You ain't doing it. I said, I'm running the routes. He said, you ain't running the routes with passion. You just doing it in motion. And I stopped. I was like, yo, you're right. I'm going through the motions. And it wasn't until I was older that I realized like what that was. That's getting up every day, showering the same way, putting on my shoes in the same way, eating at the same time, going to work out the door. And I'm not talking about consistency because consistency is different than, come on, it's different. It's okay to be consistent. It's not okay to be complacent. And most people are complacent because this old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I disagree. I disagree with that statement to the 10,000 power. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is why some of our things in our house are collapsing in on us because we like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if we went to check it out before it started to break, we would have found out it was already breaking a long time ago. And so the reality of it is that Mike getting stirred up. He got to rock back and forth. The reality of it is I believe that many of us are going through the motions. It's the motions. It's the motions of going to church. It's the motions of going to work. We're robotic. And it's like, yo, this ain't the season to be robotic. This is the season to be intentional, but it's the season to be intentional with a level of difference. I can't give too much, but one of my sisters called me today and she said to me, she said, wonderful pastor, she said, yo, tell me how I reach out to the political people in my city, and gave her a few nuggets. And she's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do that. And guess what she said when she hung up? Because she said, I'm tired of not being at the best level of impactfulness that I can be. But guess what? It's in her storm that she's realizing this. If you are, man, if you are in a storm and you don't come out of that storm with redirection and a different level of understanding, all you did was go through the motions. That's it. There are so many people living in robotic motion instead of living in, I'm about to do something different. I'm about to get some bologna sandwiches. I'm about to go to the worst street in my city. I'm about to hand these babies out. I'm going to pray for them, whatever they need, talk to them about anything and move. This is the radical place that we're in. And this is why we're not seeing certain levels of growth around us, because it's robotic. It is boom, 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 boom. Instead of like, you know what? Today, let's go. Hey, everybody, put your tennis shoes on. Let's go. We going on. And I think that's what we have to see when we want to really cause impact in and around us. And so I just wanted to add that cliff note. Good people, we out of here. Do me a favor, y'all shout out y'all social media handles. Shout out where they can find your book. If they want it, co-author, shout out where they can, get the book. Dr. Nina, shout out to you for putting that in motion. Brilliant project. I have the book, brilliant project. So all of y'all, shout out. We'll start with you, Nate, and then we'll go around.
Yeah, man. So, well, first and foremost, let me say this. I feel away because my wife ain't in the live stream, but that's another whole nother story. That's beyond the point. You know what I mean? She downstairs occupied. No, I'm joking.
She taking care of the baby.
Yeah, I can hear them too. They down
I think everybody's wife showed up today. Hey, your wife showed up, Mike?
No, she said, let me know when you done that little podcast stuff that you did.
That sounds about right.
Come back. So
right.
Hey, look, my baby knows. She know it better be present and accounted for. I'm just joking.
That's hilarious.
Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, but y'all can follow me pretty much on all social at Nate Evans Jr. NateEvans Jr. That's my website. You can get my books and stuff there. If you are in the even if you're not in the Philadelphia area, pull up on me May 24th and 25th. I'm doing a huge 2-day summit. So pull up. It's called Get to Worthy. We're going to be talking about mental health, emotional wellness, overcoming self-sabotage, all types of stuff, man. And it's going to be a dope 2-day event. So pull up on me. I would love to meet and see y'all there.
May 24th and 25th?
Yes, sir.
I'm there, man. I was looking at my calendar. What's the link to register?
It's gettoworthysummit.com. Oh, I got you. Bet.
All right, bring me and my wife, man. Come to South Jersey it's the 24th and 25th.
24th is a VIP night, so it's like art gallery, spoken word.
Yeah. We'll come. We'll use it as a time.
Saturday is the big. Saturday's like the speakers are flying in, the panelists. Like Saturday's the meat and potatoes, but Friday's like it's Philly, so you gotta, you know what I mean. You gotta set it up. So,
what you got, Mike?
Oh, Nate, you gonna be here? I'm gonna definitely try to slide Saturday. The 25th is Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a Saturday. Yeah, it's Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely try to slide. I am at Instagram, Mike the Motivator, all common spelling. I'm on website, MikeNelsonSpeaks.com. Got my books and all of my programs and stuff that I do there. But I just want to say, Duane, thank you so much for having me. This was great. I hope that we get to do a part 2.
What you mean? It's already locked in.
Oh, okay.
What I'm doing is I'm trying a couple different things, right? I'm trying to see if I want to go myself interviewing people, or if I want to be more stable with 4 guys like this, and we just talk about every different topic that we can think of. So I'm working through it, but for the next couple months, we'll be working through it before I really come up with a solidified way I'm going to run the show. So just testing the waters.
Listen, I ain't mad, man. This is a great conversation. So, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to sharing more and being here more. So, yeah.
All right.
Q, what you got, big fella?
Everybody, you can go on Instagram and follow me at Gideon's Academy, GIDEONS ACADEMY. That's a mentorship program that was created in 2022 I'm focused on the youth, mainly young men, hitting topics like mental health, self-confidence, self-awareness, all those type of things. And we just here to empower, uplift, and help our young men. Also, you could check out the book called 816 Leaders. Dr. Nina Knight is the author. I'm sure you can go on Amazon and purchase that book. There are many, many, many powerful and influential authors, co-authors in that book talking about life and ministry and loss and everything that's needed to, help us get through this rigorous life that we live. Duane, I appreciate you. Thank you for inviting me to your platform. Guys, Mike, Nate, it was a pleasure meeting you guys, y'all. I'm definitely going to connect. I hope to see y'all guys in person. I'm honored and humbled.
I love it. I love it.
Just so
What you
y'all
got, man?
got my ticket.
Yo,
Hey,
listen,
my God.
listen.
Pull up on me.
I was over
Pull
here
up
looking
on
at
me
the same
Saturday.
thing, right? I was looking at the same thing right now.
You do it now if I end up forgetting and be like, oh, Nate, let me, da. I said, nope, let's do it now.
Yeah, look,
that's
I'm over
lit,
here
bro.
looking
I'm
right
excited
now.
to see you in there.
I'm gonna have to get two. Got to bring the wife
Pull
with
up on
me.
me, man. It's gonna
Amber,
be,
you want to go with me?
It's gonna be a vibe, man. It's gonna be a vibe, and it's gonna be some familiar faces too are coming in the building.
I'm just mad, Mike. He ain't got me and you on there. I mean, how do we serve? Can we be an usher or something?
Hey, look. So this is the first year, man. You got to ease your way up to the premium. You know what I mean?
I understand, my guy. I understand. I just want to be in the building because I know it's gonna be good, man. You've been doing a lot of
God is good.
great stuff. I think your wife responded, Q. It's really good. But man, this has been a great episode. I'm actually looking forward to next week. I got 3 maybe 2 radical mothers and 1 nice one coming. And I'm excited for them to share their journey as Mother's Day is coming the Sunday after next Thursday. And so wanted to do a Mother's Day special to really talk to some mothers to see like, yo, what's going on out here? What's happening? How you navigating these streets? What's going on? And man, I'm telling you, like, really got some really dope people coming over the next 2 months. I got some stuff up my sleeve that I want to do with some other people and really just bring some stuff out. And then, of course, y'all heard me throw it out there. I want to do a motivational day one day with the 4 of us and just bring as many kids as we can into the room with some other people and make it a day of empowerment. And so blessings to each and every one of you gentlemen. I'm going to give my there's your response, Q. I'm gonna give my final 60-second remarks. So I'm gonna bid y'all in the background. So I'm gonna see y'all soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for coming to Authentically You Podcast. This is what this podcast is all about. The thoughts of people who have something to say from their perspective in life and how they get to that place. You're going to hear so many different stories, so many ranges of stories. You're going to hear so many different backgrounds, but this is the place for you to be. Catch us next Thursday right here at 8 p.m., right on YouTube and Facebook at Duane Williams Jr. Please subscribe, please follow, and I pray that you enjoy the content. God bless you, and we will see you when we see you. Good night.